Somewhere along the way, you stopped listening to your own body. Not on purpose. You just got busy surviving, and your body's signals became background noise instead of information. This month, it's my birthday, and every year around now, I do favorites videos, the things I love, the things that make my life work. This year, I want to do something different, just a little bit, because this month isn't about handing you my routine so you can copy it exactly. It's much bigger than that. Learning how to actually listen to your own body so you can find what works for you. I'm going to show you how I figured it out using my own story, not so you do exactly what I did, so you can see the process and use it on yourself. For me, the last 3 months, that process showed up as 10 pounds gone without starving myself, without white knuckling anything. Before I show you what changed, I need to show you how long I went without listening to it. 12 years. Quick but important before we go further, I'm Dr. Carrie Barron, board certified doctor of natural medicine and a certified natural health practitioner. I'm not a medical doctor. I do not diagnose, treat, or cure disease. Everything I share, including my own personal health story, is for educational purposes only, and it isn't a substitute for working with your own healthcare provider. Okay, let's go. For the last 12 years, my life did not stand still. 4 moves, 3 different homes bought and sold, different states, different time zones, different family, friends, and renovations on top of every single one of those new homes. The home we started in had been renovated over years, room by room, not a quick process. The other 2, we had to make changes almost the moment we moved in. No settling in period, no slow adjustment. We went straight into the projects. And if you've ever moved or renovated, you know what that actually costs your body. Packing a house is not a workout. It is a battle of the mind. Living inside a renovation is not a mild inconvenience. It's months or years of your nervous system on high alert with no off switch. Do that once and you recover. Stack it, moves, sales, renovations, new states, new businesses, over and over 12 years, something else happens. Your body stops treating it like an event. It starts treating it like your baseline. That was me. Cortisol wasn't spiking anymore. It just was on, always on. And because it never fully came back down, I never had a moment where I felt like something was wrong. I just felt like life, my new normal. So I ignored it for way too long. And here's the part I really want you to hear. It wasn't a dramatic decline. It was a slow one. Imperceptible, year over year. You don't notice a slope when you're standing on it. You only notice how far down you are once you finally stop and look. And by then, there's a lot more correction to do than there would have been if you'd caught it early. What I want you to understand right now, because this is the part nobody explains to you. It happens in order, one thing causing the next. It starts with cortisol imbalance. Chronic stress held long enough keeps cortisol elevated far past the point it was ever designed for. That imbalance disrupts leptin, the hormone that's supposed to tell your brain, we have enough energy stored, you can stop being hungry now. When cortisol stays high, leptin signaling breaks down. That message stops getting through. Your brain thinks you're running low, even though you're not. So you're hungrier more often for things that hit your blood sugar fast. And then, as a result of that, insulin resistance moves in. Your cells stop responding to insulin the way they should, so it takes more and more of it to move sugar out of your bloodstream. Your body holds on to fat instead of using it. Cortisol first, leptin next, insulin resistance after that. That is the cascade, and it's not a willpower problem. It's a steady decline, imperceptible. You don't feel cortisone slowly climbing over years. You don't feel leptin signaling quietly breaking down. You just feel a little more tired, a little hungrier, a little heavier, one small shift at a time. For so long, it stops registering as a shift at all. By the time you notice, there's usually a lot more correction to do than there would have been if you'd caught it early. So here's what's different about the last 3 months. I stopped trying to out-willpower my hormones. And I actually started listening to what my body was telling me and then addressing leptin sensitivity and insulin resistance directly as the real target, not the symptom. 10 pounds down so far, 3 months, and I have not starved myself once. No extreme restriction, no white knuckling past hunger, because you fix the signal instead of fighting the symptom, and you don't have to fight your own body anymore. That's the whole shift. I stopped treating 12 years of stress-driven weight gain like a discipline problem and started treating it like the physiological problem it actually was. I'm not walking you through this so you copy me exactly piece for piece. I'm walking you through it so you can see what it looks like to actually listen to your body and find what it's asking for. Because this skill matters more than any tool on my list. I'm not going to pretend the number on the scale doesn't matter. It does, but it's not actually the thing I care most about telling you. I have more endurance now. I can move through my day, through activity, through work without running out of gas halfway. I feel better in my clothes. I present myself better because I'm not carrying around the feeling of being overweight in every room I walk into. And here's the one that surprised me the most. My muscles aren't working as hard just to move the weight I was carrying, which instead of sitting around too worn out to do anything, I can actually go do the weight training that builds those muscles. I'm not fighting my own body just to get through the day anymore. I'm building it. Proverbs 31 describes a woman who sets about her work vigorously and her arms are strong for her tasks. It's not vanity language, that's strength language. That's a body that can actually do what it was made to do. That's what I want for you too. Not a smaller version of yourself, a stronger, more capable one, whatever that looks like on your body in your life. And I got there by finally giving my own maintenance the priority I'd given everyone else and everything else for 12 straight years, probably more. So my favorites this year. Every one of these is something I use, not something I'm told to promote. And every one of them came from actually listening to what my body needed in order, one layer at a time. I want to show you both the tool and what it uncovered, because the process is the part you can use, even if the specific tool ends up looking different than mine. Number one, the GLP-Forte homeopathic protocol. This one has 3 layers, and the order matters. The first layer is the miasm, emotional, and mental homeopathics. This is where I started before I touched anything metabolic. And what came up surprised me. It wasn't really about food at all. It was sadness. Sadness for just pushing through year after year without ever stopping. It was eating patterns and weight gain I inherited, patterns that weren't even mine to begin with. And it was a mental belief I didn't even know I was carrying. I'm stuck at this weight now that I'm getting older. That belief released with the MEM homeopathics, not through discipline, through actually addressing what was underneath it. The second layer is a short detox protocol that has some supplements and homeopathics. I've used a number of detox protocols. This one is really good to use with this homeopathic protocol. Third layer, the GLP-Forte homeopathic piece itself. This is where the hunger signals and the snacking got identified and dealt with directly. Not hunger, a pattern. Once I could see that clearly, I wasn't a slave to it anymore. This is the exact purpose behind Mind Body Prep for GLP-Forte, the group program I'm opening the interest list for. Emotional and ancestral layer first, detoxification and elimination pathways second, and metabolic layer last, in that order on purpose. Number 2 of my favorites, Vibrant Blue Oils, the parasympathetic blend. Quick disclosure, I'm an affiliate for them, so if you grab one through my link, I earn a small commission. Doesn't cost you anything. I only put products in front of you that I actually use every single day. Interesting thing about this essential oil is I didn't apply this one topically. I literally just smell it straight from the bottle. That's what works for my body. And I want to say that clearly because a lot of people think essential oils only count if you put them on your skin. They don't. If you don't want to apply something topically, or if it reacts more intensely than you want it to, which was my situation, you can just smell it. Essential oils are called aromatherapy for a reason. Your sense of smell has a direct line to the part of your brain that regulates stress. That alone is powerful. Number 3 of my favorites for this month I'm going to share, feet up the wall. We talked about somatic exercises a few weeks ago, using your body, not just your mind, to release stored stress. This is one of the simplest versions. Lie on your back, legs up the wall, 10 minutes. It shifts you out of fight or flight into rest and digest. It's not a metaphor, that's the actual nervous system switching modes. I guess it signals the body that there are no lions to run from, so it's okay to digest that food or get a few winks. Number 4, my carb cycling plan. I want to be upfront about this. This is a plan I use with clients who are working with me long term. It's not usually where someone starts, but here's what it looks like: 30 grams of protein at every meal, plus a serving of healthy fat and a healthy serving of carbs. Real, whole food carbs, not grains, beans, rice, or corn. Those are eliminated. And the carbs increase through the day. 1 serving at breakfast. For me right now, that's a grapefruit, fresh off my tree in the backyard while we still have them. 2 servings of carbs for lunch and 3 at dinner to help with the blood sugar overnight. That's it. That's not a restrictive plan, that's a rhythm. And it's one example of what it can look like once you've done the listening work first. Number 5. Actually, number 5 and number 6. Devotional time the moment I wake up. Then, right afterwards, a walk. Feet on the floor, straight into devotional time before anything else touches my day. Then 20 minutes minimum walking right afterward. Out in the sun, enjoying the birds and the trees. And it's not for calorie burn, it's feeding my spirit first, then moving my body. That sets the tone for everything else. It's become one of my non-negotiables. And I love seeing the birds, bunnies, and even coyotes on my morning walks. It reminds me that I don't need to worry. If God takes care of them, how much more does He take care of me, His child? Here's the point of all of this. Not one of these things are random. Every one came from actually stopping, listening to my body, and following what it was asking for layer by layer in order. That's the skill I want you to walk away with. Not my exact list, the process for finding your own list. And you don't have to figure that process out alone, the way I did for 12 years before I finally stopped and paid attention. If any part of my story sounded familiar, the creeping weight, the stress that stopped registering as stress, the hunger that never seems to turn off, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not undisciplined. You are not broken. You are very possibly a woman whose body has been running on stress hormones for so long it forgot to ask for anything else. Mind Body Prep for GLP-Forte is built around the process I just walked you through. The emotional and ancestral layer first with the MEM homeopathics, then 2 weeks of gentle detox, followed by the GLP-Forte homeopathic metabolic layer. Once that foundation is in place and elimination pathways are moving, 3 layers in order, so you're not guessing at which one you actually need. Get on the interest list, and I'll walk you through the details, the timing, and whether this is your full starting point or your on-ramp into deeper work together. You don't have to wait 12 years to give yourself permission to listen. Start now. I'll see you soon.